We did it again, faster this time.
We're getting so much better at this. Happy Wednesday, everybody. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. Happy hump day. So here we are live, Kristen and I coming to you again this week, and we are on episode number 3. So today we want to talk about on legacy living. We're going to give you guys a fast tour of the most requested coverage options. Basically what each one does, who it's for, and really how to pick the right fit, because not everyone is going to fit the same policy or insurance. It just depends on the family, your wants, and your needs. So we're going to cover what's the difference of term, whole life. We're going to talk a little bit about IULs, or what we call index universal life. We're going to talk
about I like to call the smart people stuff, which is why Giovanna will be going over those items.
I'm not so smart. I've just spent a lot of time really just diving into it. It's really become a passion of mine. So I do love to talk about, we're going to talk about annuities. We're going to talk about living benefits, and even what we call here with our company, something called debt-free life strategies. So I'm going to start with you, Kristen. I want you to tell us a little bit more about the difference of term and permanent.
Yes. So term and permanent, these are probably the most common coverages that we help clients with. And oftentimes the question that we get or the conversations that we're having are, okay, what is the difference between term and whole life, and why is one better than the other? Because you will get varying opinions. I mean, there are very famous people out there that will encourage you one way over the other. But it really comes down to your scenario. Every single one of these that we go over is really going to be based on your scenario and your specifics. But in general, I like to think of term as like renter's coverage. You are going to rent it for a certain amount of time. You're going to pay a monthly premium for that coverage, and it will go away. And most often it's in increments of 10, 20, or 30 years. So term is for a specific period of time. It is going to typically be higher amounts of coverage. So we really recommend it for people who have mortgages to cover, or families to protect if something, God forbid, happened to them. So it's more bang for your buck, and is one that we often use, like I said, for mortgage protection. Permanent coverage, obviously, is permanent. It's going to be around forever, which is great. It also will build cash value that you can pull from and utilize. Obviously, that, again, if we recommend that, it comes down to this situation, but it's there if you need it. And permanent is going to be higher in cost. So a lot of people like the idea of having permanent coverage. Like, why wouldn't I want something to last forever? But here's the thing, it's a lot more expensive. And typically, when most people are looking into it, it is significantly more in cost. So let's just give an example. You might get $500,000 in term coverage for $40, and you might be looking at $700 or $800 for $500,000 in whole life coverage. So it's a huge cost difference, but again, a great option for older people who need smaller amounts of coverage, or really healthy people who have extra money that they want to invest in something that's going to build value over time. So those are the differences between term and permanent. And then, when we talk about whole life permanent coverage, a lot of times we're looking at senior solutions, burial expenses, something that's going to be in place at the end of life to take care of those end of life expenses. But those are the basic kind of coverages that we offer. Now, for smarter people, you want to tune into what Giovanna is going to say, because she is the advanced market queen, where I am trying to get better, but she does all the fun stuff, and that has really helped a lot of clients, especially, make their money work harder for you. So she's going to go over some of those concepts.
Yes, I wouldn't call myself a queen, Kristen. What I would say about myself is, as I got into insurance, I got real curious, started asking a lot more questions. One of the reasons I love this company, and we'll continually brag on it for those of you that are in insurance and watching this, I came here because, again, of the plethora of options that we literally carry, guys, everything under the life insurance umbrella. And so life insurance isn't what it used to be years ago, where people think of life insurance as just having a death benefit. Life insurance today has products that have a death benefit. Then they have products that have a death benefit and what we call living benefits, where you can actually access from the death benefit in the case of a critical, chronic, or terminal illness. And then we have life insurance policies that provide death benefit, living benefits, and compounding interest off of a premium payment. And because of some tax codes, we're able to obviously compound that interest tax-free and access that money tax-free. So that kind of takes us into what we call our advanced market products. Some of you guys may have been seeing people, and maybe you have by now, on Instagram and TikTok talking about be your own bank and grow money inside your cash value policy. But one thing I want to talk about is number one, make sure that you connect with someone, whether it's us or it isn't us, that has been doing this long enough to know how to structure certain policies that are going to fit your exact needs. So the following few products I want to go through. Number one is an index universal life. I love this product because it is permanent. It has a death benefit. It has living benefits. And again, it has some compounding interest that can grow cash value for you in that particular bucket inside that policy that you can access later. So IULs, or what we call index universal lives, can be for anyone that is a newborn up until however many years old. But there are different types, Kristen, of index universal lives. And this is kind of where I just want to break this down. There's index universal lives that are specifically meant for a death benefit as well as living benefits. It's not technically meant to make you a millionaire or grow you tons of money. It gives you the option to have a permanent policy, because remember, guys, these are insurance products. So at the end of the day, we are still, as you know, clients still paying for the cost of the insurance. So there's that type of index universal life. And then I have what I call our big boy IUL.
I love that name.
When I talk to my clients about it, I'm like, okay, here's the baby IUL, and then here's the big boy IUL. And depending upon how much you're funding into that monthly and when you plan on retiring, that's how we work around structuring the policy to be able to possibly give you that tax-free retirement income to add to your portfolio in your retirement years. So make sure, I'm just encouraging all of you to make sure you're talking to somebody who knows how to structure the product properly and has those options for you. The second thing that we have here that I love is what's called our debt-free life. And we have this here with our company. It is not a debt consolidation program. So if you're looking like, hey, I have all this debt and I just want to consolidate it, a debt-free life is pretty much using a whole life policy. And typically we're taking people that maybe overpay into the mortgage or overpay on their credit cards. And we're kind of using that overpayment as premiums for the whole life policy, but it's going to allow you, the way that we have it structured in our software here with our company, we're able to help you guys pay that debt down in 9 years versus 30 years. So if that's something that interests you, that is something that we love to do and sit with clients and say, okay, how fast can we pay down that debt? Whether that's credit cards, your mortgage, car, etc. And then the final product, which I love in the life insurance umbrella, is annuities. Annuities are my favorite because if you guys are out there, maybe some of you have an old 401k just kind of sitting there from a previous job, and no one's really managing it. It's just kind of sitting there. We take a lot of old 401ks and we roll them into annuities that will never lose from any market downturns. So that's kind of the wheelhouse that I like to work in, is to help people put their money into a retirement product that you're never going to lose, but you're also going to grow it over time. And so we can do that again with old 401ks, people that just maybe have a bigger chunk of money and like, hey, I don't want it just sitting in the bank growing at 0.002%. Where can I put this that I'm not at risk to what's going on in the stock market, but I can also grow it. So those are annuities, and those are my favorite. I love doing retirement appointments, Kristen, just because I think, a lot of people just really don't have a financial advisor. And what we sit down and do with them is say, okay, where are you now in your income earning years? And where are you going to be in retirement? What does that gap look like? And so that's why I love the advanced market products, because I feel as agents and being as experienced as we are and taking the certifications, the classes, the courses, we have been skilled up enough in our company, in this industry, to be able to walk someone through what that looks like and help them fill those gaps during the retirement years.
Can y'all tell that is like her wheelhouse? Because that was just like, boom, mic drop. We are all skilled, her being more skilled than I, because she has done all of that. And I mean, it sounds like a no-brainer. The best part, what I love about the advanced market segment that we have, and that Giovanna is part of, is they are able to figure out if this is going to be, if one of these options will be beneficial for you or not pretty quickly. We're not sitting you through an hour-long appointment to tell you that maybe this isn't the solution for you. So I love that piece of it. So I know that was a lot of information about different types of coverages that we offer, but we have more information. We're happy to share resources and, whatever you're looking for, if something interests you. So we're going to put a link into a form, and you can fill it out if you're interested in one of these concepts. If you have questions, if you already have a policy in place and you're wondering, like, do I have this? Do I need this? Is this the best? We're happy to review what you have. We're not in the business of taking clients. We're in the business of making sure that you're protected with the best option out there. So thank you all for tuning in. We love educating. We love these conversations. Thank you for sharing all your advanced market goodness, Giovanna.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And we're going to continue to come live, different topics every week. But today was one that I'm extremely passionate about. So thank you for letting me share, Kristen. I love this podcast that we're putting together, and that we're going to be able to continue to educate people, again, whether it's on insurance or just the business side or just life in general. We may have a life one next week.
Same. Super excited. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next Wednesday.
Bye-bye.